All right, everyone. The official preview for Onyx Storm is finally here, and wow, is it packed. So today, we're going to do a deep dive into that prologue, breaking down every single critical detail, and setting the stage for the storm we all know is coming.
Okay, so let's just jump right in, starting with this absolutely incredible cover. And that tagline, Brave the Dark? I mean, that's not just a suggestion, right? It's a command. And as we're about to see, it perfectly captures the terrifying and deeply personal darkness our characters are about to face. And this right here is the heart of it all. This single, defiant thought from Violet, her own little addendum to the Book of Brennan, it sets the entire tone. You know, it's not just about survival anymore. This is about a rescue mission for Xaden's very soul. This is her mission statement, loud and clear.
So where does this mission even come from? Well, it's born from the ashes of a so-called victory, because the prologue drops us right into the grim reality just after the battle for Basgiath. There is no celebration, not even close. Instead, there's just this crushing weight of everything that was lost.
And I mean, the scene is just bleak. Yeah, sure, the wards are up, but it came at the ultimate price. Violet's mother, General Sorrengail, is dead. Then this sudden, completely unnatural snowstorm just blankets everything, kind of mirroring the cold grief that's gripping everyone. The halls are overflowing with wounded soldiers, and the air just reeks of sulfur and ash. The war might be over, but man, this feels a lot more like a defeat. And this line just perfectly shows us how Violet is dealing with this immense trauma. She's actively forcing down her grief for her mother, locking it away in this mental, fireproof box. It's a brutal coping mechanism, but it's one she's had to learn her whole life as a scribe. But now she's using it to wall off the deepest personal loss imaginable, all because she knows a much more immediate and frankly more terrifying crisis is happening right now.
And that crisis is Xaden. The prologue just pivots immediately to this unthinkable secret he's now carrying, a secret that threatens not just his life, but everything he is.
So, we start with Violet waking up, and the bed's empty. Xaden is just gone. She follows him down into these dark, creepy tunnels beneath Basgiath, guided only by their bond as the mage lights flicker out around her. The suspense is just, wow. You have to wonder, where on earth could he be going that's worth this kind of risk?
But here's the thing. Violet already knows something is terribly, terribly wrong. She sees the physical proof, these faint, venin-red circles around his eyes. He's completely walled her off mentally, and his destination, the interrogation cells. All the signs are pointing to a horrifying truth that she just can't ignore.
Now, to really understand the gravity of this, we have to be super clear on what this means. Xaden channeled power directly from the earth to kill the sage and save everyone. A heroic act, right? But doing that, it makes him venin. It's this forbidden magic that literally cracks the soul and starts this irreversible sled towards losing all control and just craving more and more power.
And this just lays it out perfectly, the terrifying change he's facing. As a rider, he was in control. His soul was his own. But as a venin, he's walking a knife's edge, fighting this constant craving that threatens to just consume him. And if he's discovered, the law is clear. Execution, no trial. He has become the very thing he spent his entire life fighting.
And to make matters a million times worse, the only other person who knows is their prisoner, Jack Barlow, who is now also venin. And he's down there in the cells just taunting Xaden, telling him that this fight for control is a fight he's destined to lose. Jack is the living, breathing embodiment of Xaden's worst nightmare.
But just when things seem completely and utterly hopeless, the prologue gives us two potential ways forward, two little glimmers of hope in all this darkness.
The first path, and maybe the most shocking one, comes from Andarna. She cuts right through Violet's spiraling thoughts to reveal she did something impossible during the battle. Something that could literally change everything.
So get this. While fighting, Andarna didn't just fight a venin, she scorched it. She reveals that when her scales change color, magic itself feels different to her, and she thinks this new power is what allowed her to actually weaken the Dark Wielder. This isn't just some cool new trick. This hints that the entire magical ecosystem, the balance between dragons and venin, it might be fundamentally different than anyone ever knew.
So, based on this revelation, Andarna proposes a crucial two-part plan. First, they need to figure out how to master this new ability she has. And second, and this is maybe even more important, they need to find the rest of her kind, because they might already hold the key not just to fighting venin, but maybe to curing Xaden.
And Andarna makes it crystal clear what this means. To save Xaden, they cannot and will not follow the laws of Navarre. She's bonded to Violet, and because of that, she basically declares them both outside of human law. I mean, this is a rebellion in the making.
This all leads us to the final pivotal moments of the prologue, where Violet, who is armed with this tiny sliver of hope and a mountain of resolve, makes a decision that is going to define her entire future.
Listening to Jack taunt Xaden, Violet just snuffs out her fear and makes this silent, unbreakable vow. He saved her, and she will scour the entire world to save him right back. This is her declaration of war against his fate.
But a mission this dangerous, you can't do it alone. So who can she possibly trust? I mean, really think about it. The leadership would execute Xaden without a second thought. Even her own sister, Mira, would be bound by law to kill him. Her circle of trust has become dangerously, terrifyingly small.
The answer, of course, is Imogen. Her loyalty to Xaden is absolute, but more importantly, her signet is memory erasing. She is the perfect and maybe the only person who can help them. She can silence their only witness, Jack Barlow, without having to kill him and start a massive manhunt.
So, the prologue leaves us with Violet putting together a covert team for a forbidden quest. She's willing to break any law, betray any command, and defy any authority to find a cure. She's ready to brave the dark. But the question this prologue leaves us with is, what will be the cost of that bravery?